Well, away from that, and then to the story concerning the Ghana Premier League footballer who plays his football for Nations FC. His name is Emmanuel Ano. Now, if you remember, Kumasi Asante Kotoko played against Nations FC in match week 28 of the Ghana Premier League. I mean, this season's Ghana Premier League. Now, during the game, Emmanuel Ano scored a goal for Nations FC. In fact, Nations did win that game by 2-0. And that was the reason why that's the reason why he's been mentioned now. He scored a goal for Nations FC. That was the second goal of the game after Nafiu Sulemana has scored the first goal. Now, after he scored that goal, he celebrated with a shirt removal and then depicting "I belong to Jesus" in his undershirt. Now, the GFA, the Ghana Football Association, have seen that, and they say the Nations FC player Emmanuel Ano has been fined 500 Ghana cedis by the disciplinary committee for misconduct during their Ghana Premier League game against Asante Kotoko. The player was found guilty of displaying a religious message on his undergarment after removing a shirt in celebration. He has also been strongly warned that any further misconduct will result in severe sanctions. That is coming from the Ghana Football Association. This was this morning, and it has gained a lot of traction. Now, after that fine by the Ghana Football Association, Emmanuel Ano took to his Twitter page or his X page to report this, that why can't footballers celebrate because LGBTQ plus sexuality, why can footballers celebrate LGBTQ plus sexuality but not their love for Jesus? Romans 14:8, if we live for the Lord, and if we die for the Lord. So whether we live or die, we belong to the Lord. It's the kingdom's work on the pitch. That was from Emmanuel Ano, who tweeted on X. Now I'm here to tell you that anything that we do on radio is supposed to also educate us. So if you listen to music, you are enjoying the music, but there are certainly lyrics that will educate you. If you listen to sports, you know that you are following something that you have passion for. But there are certain instances that we always pick something from, and I'm here to tell you that what Emmanuel Ano did is wrong. Yes, he can depict his faith, but not in football circles. And someone said, I had a conversation with a sports journalist this afternoon, and he said that football is not a Christian sport. It's not a religious sport. Aside that, laws are laws. So you obey laws, and what you do is that you make sure that you abide by the rules. And in fact, FIFA has got its rules and IFAB has got its rules. Now, in fact, in FIFA Law 4, Section 5, this is what FIFA says. Equipment must not have any political, religious, or personal slogans, statements, or images. Players must not reveal undergarments that show political, religious, personal slogans, statements, or images or advertising other than the manufacturer's logo. For any offense, the player and or the team will be sanctioned by the competition organizer, National Football Association, or by FIFA. Now, Law 4 applies to all equipment worn by players, substitutes, and substituted players, and that is its principles also apply to all team officials in the technical area. Now, the following are usually permitted. These are what FIFA deems as permitted if you want to play football and you want to celebrate with your undergarment. The player's number, name, team crest, or logo. Initiative slogans or emblems promoting the game of football, respect and integrity, as well as any advertising permitted by communication rules or National FA Confederation or FIFA regulations. That is one. 2. The facts of a match, that is the team's date, competition or event and venue. Now, if you've seen some of the teams print the match that they are going to play, let's say Real Madrid, Barcelona, UEFA Champions League final, at the top, closer to the neck of the shirt, if you've seen that. Now, permitted slogans, statements or images should be confined to the shirt front and or armband. In some cases, the slogan, statement or image might only appear on the captain's armband. Now, Emmanuel, I'll not drew comparisons with the LGBTQ, whereby we've seen in the English Premier League where captain armbands have got the colors of the LGBTQ movement. By saying that it is permitted. So the LGBTQ tapped on that side of the rule. They utilize that side of the rule to make their case. That is why it is allowed. And in Ghana, we don't do LGBTQ. It is not allowed. So that is the reason why that conversation is not even interesting. It's not even important. You don't even have to put that up. LGBTQ in Ghana is a no, first of all. So Emmanuel, I know aired on that moment. Even though God is king, even though Jesus is king, but the fact of the matter is that the law is the law. And it continues. Let's even use references here. Let's use some reference here. Mubarak Wakasu at the AFCON 2013 missed Ghana's third game against Niger because in the second game he showed in his undergarment that Allah is great, and he was yellow carded in the game. That was the second yellow card, and that meant that he was going to miss the third game. Luckily, Ghana qualified to the next stage, even though we lost to South Africa and we lost to Burkina Faso in the semi-final. This is just for educational purposes. So before you talk about Kakas, I belong to Jesus. Before you talk about who else? There was a player recently who also showed I belong to Jesus. There are several players who have been doing that. It is not allowed. Tell your younger football fans or the kids that want to play football that it is not allowed. So before you go on social media and then talk, I beg, it is not allowed. This is the trending topic this afternoon and even this morning. That's the reason why I have mentioned it and giving you some backstory on that as well. So, football is not a Christian sport. Football is not a political sport. Football is not a religious sport. And it is not for personal slogans or statements or images. The only way that you can do it is to find it in your captain armband. So borrow the captain armband, wear it, and use it. Nation says will definitely educate him on that as well. My name is Dennis Ivan Opoku. This is where we end the Y Sports Update. It was a pleasure having you listen to the show. We meet tomorrow at exactly 2:30. Stay positive. Drive of your life is up next.